Hi everyone, welcome to Upskill 2.0, which is brought to you by nexogirls. Before we start, I would love to play a video of some of the compilations from our compilations from.
Every journey they say begins with a single step, but I say that it is the unique footprints we leave that truly defines us. I am Eunice Adeosi, and my journey began as a response to the challenges I witnessed growing up. Raised in a small family that struggled financially after losing my father at age 9, I faced harsh realities. However, instead of giving up, I saw this as an opportunity to empower myself and other females in similar situations. My gap year was when I discovered my passion for tech, advocacy, leadership, and volunteering. Driven by a strong desire to alleviate poverty and challenge gender stereotypes that I noticed in my rural community at the time in Lagos State, Nigeria, I founded Female Youth Global Empowerment, an NGO that equips young women with globally demanded skills to narrow gender gap in tech by promoting digital literacy and fostering the inclusion of women in STEM fields. So far, we have reached over 2,500 youth. I organized the Global 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign at ALU. The campaign brought together diverse advocates from 15 African countries, India, Haiti, and Japan. And we reached a total of 34,796 people with our message.
Hello everyone, my name is Blessing and I've been volunteering with the Female Youth Global Empowerment for the past 3 years. And being part of FYGE has been incredibly amazing, I must say. I've had the opportunity to network with people, make new friends like Salma, Kimiradin, Pixel, Sophia, and so many others. And I've also had the opportunity to work in different teams as a team member and also a team leader. And yeah, it's really been an amazing moment with FYG. And one of my favorite moments was in 2021, December, where we had the 1 week intensive digital training class, Upskill 1.0. And I was part of the participants. I had the opportunity to learn different things about the importance of LinkedIn optimization, brand marketing, brand awareness, content creation, the importance of volunteering. And it was really an eye-opener for me. And I feel it's moments like this that reminds me of the impact we are making here at FYG. So yeah, I'm really proud to be part of an organization that is making a real difference in the lives of young girls. And I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Hi, I'm Moderator and I was the beneficiary of FYG's Upskill program in 2021. I learned about 80 digital skills in 8 days and got certified. FYG helped me discover my passion for technology and web development. Also helped my passion for content writing to be more intense. One of the skills we were taught was web development. One who is interested in web development, I found this lesson very engaging and very valuable. And that's why after the Upskill program, I decided to further pursue web development by enrolling in a training where I learned how to use HTML and CSS to create a 3-page website on my phone. In essence, the Upskill program opened my eyes to see hidden gems in web development. Another skill was freelancing, which was taught by Lena Robert, where I learned how to use my skills to make more money. So I am someone who is passionate about content writing and SEO. The freelancing class opened my eyes to certain platforms where I can actually earn money and I will not be restricted by monthly pay. I never thought that I was actually going to learn so much in just 8 days and get certified, but FYG made this possible and I'm super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, FYG.
These are just few of the many success stories FYG has helped to create through education, digital literacy, and empowerment. And we are shaping the next future female leaders.
We cannot wait for the government to cause a change, which is why I believe in grassroots initiatives to provoke the change that we want to see.
Not now, measures here by young girls are created more inclusive and equitable society. easy diving to learn more about how the plan gets involved.
Thank you, and I can't wait for the exciting experiences ahead.
We can make a difference.
Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of Upskill 2.0, which is brought to you by nexogirls. My name is Ezeliora Godsfavour, and I am one of the community managers at nexogirls. I'm also your moderator for today. I am so excited to be here, and I really hope you are as excited as I am. What you just saw was a video, which is a compilation of some of the testimonials we got from our Upskill 1.0. And we hope by the time we are planning our Upskill 3.0 that we'll get testimonials, positive testimonials for some of you here. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you might have been hearing FYGE, and you might be wondering, what is FYGE? Am I in the right place? FYGE stands for Female Youth Global Empowerment. So nexogirls was formerly known as FYGE before we rebranded to nexogirls. So we are still the same community with the same vision. Before we get started, I would love to walk you through the agenda of today. So on our agenda, we have our welcome address and housekeeping, because we need some rules to guide us through this YouTube live. We are going to talk about nexogirls and what is Upskill 2.0 about. We are going to have our speaker session and interactive Q&A, and then we have our closing remarks. So, like I said before, my name is Ezeliora Godsfavour. I am the Assistant Community Manager for nexogirls. And I really hope you guys are ready for today's session. I hope you have your pen, your paper, your jotter, whatever it is, your writing materials. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you can go through our YouTube channel. We have recorded session of day 1 and day 2. So we are going to go through some of our housekeeping rules, because we need rules to guide us, right? So for our first rule, we have, feel free to share your questions and your comments in the YouTube live chat, which is down there. And our moderators will relay your messages to the speaker during the Q&A segment. So you just have to chill. Just put your questions there and our speaker is going to answer. So if you are not able to join us now, this session is going to be recorded for promotional and educational purposes. And by participating in this session, you consent to your comments being visible in our recordings. And if you experience any interruption during this live stream, try refreshing your network, your internet connection, or your browser. So we're going to talk a little bit about, you might be wondering, what is nexogirls? What is Upskill program? What is this Upskill program about? So nexogirls was formerly known as Female Youth Global Empowerment, just like I said before. And it's a non-profit organization that is dedicated to promoting gender equity and digital literacy among young women by encouraging their participation in STEM social advocacy in a bid to alleviate poverty and stop gender stereotypes. Like I said before, we've had our Upskill 1.0, which was in 2021, and we are currently in our Upskill 1.0, which you are part of in 2024. And what is Upskill? Upskill is a transformative 8-day plan, which is designed to equip you, the participants, with foundational knowledge in 8 essential skills: technology, leadership, personal development. So it is a flagship initiative by nexogirls, which is aimed at empowering young women and change makers with practical in-demand skills. So if you have any questions on what is, you're already on the community, which is the WhatsApp community that we created for you guys. You can ask your questions.
Oh, my name is Francis Catholic. Yes. This is the.
We are We've had our day 1, we've had our day 2, and we received nice feedbacks from some of you. And in today's session, we'll be highlighting some of the comments we got. The first one says, seriously, video editing is more easier than I thought. I was blown away by the process and I really enjoyed the live stream. Thank you so much. The next one we got was, it was impactful and resourceful as always. Thank you. Then we have, the session was so wonderful. I really enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you so much. You are highly welcome. And if you want your comment to be highlighted in our next class or session, make sure you fill the feedback form and it will be highlighted in our next session. So I'm going to be introducing our guest speaker. And this is, before we introduce our next speaker, I want to make sure that you have your writing materials, like I said. If you've not gotten it, get them now. And I want you to lend us your listening ear and chill and relax and listen. So make sure you grab something before the end of the session. So we're going to be introducing our guest speaker. So please listen. Thank you. So that was our speaker's bio, and I hope you are very excited because she's coming with great insights, information that you're going to learn, good information. And I hope you are excited. I hope you are ready for this session. And I hope your materials are ready. So if you're ready for this session, I want to see your comments in the chat box. I want to see emojis, let me see them in the comment section. Okay, that's fine. Yes. Okay, so our speaker is going to be coming here to speak. So lend us your listening ears. Her name is Idongesit, and she's already here. So hi, Idongesit. Please.
Hi, Godsfavour. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. It's so good to be here. So can I start?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, so give me a moment to share my screen with the house. And please, if there's anything that needs my attention, you can just let me know by muting your mic.
I will. Thank you so much.
Sorry, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
But can you see me?
Yes, we can see you too. Everything is fine.
Okay, if at any point something goes off, please let me know. So good evening, everyone. I want to say good evening, ladies, because I believe everyone that will be watching this video our ladies, and thank you to Eunice and her team for inviting me to this session. So I'm going to, are you seeing the messages that are popping up on my screen? Godsfavour, please confirm if you are seeing those distractions. Let me know. Hello?
Yes, we are not seeing any of the messages, but we can no longer see your face.
Okay. I don't know why the camera is just I'm turning it on, but it goes off on its own, and I don't know why.
You can just carry on.
Okay. So like I said, so good to be here, and I'll be taking us on community management 101, which is basically the beginning or a beginner's guide to community management. So before we start, backstory about me. My name is Idongesit Akpan. Most people call me ID. I became a community manager by accident. So about 2 years ago, I finished from a training program during the Asst strike. So if you're not in Nigeria, an Asst strike is a period where the academic staff of universities in Nigeria go on strike, maybe because they haven't been paid or other pressing issues. So during the Asst strike, I picked up digital marketing as a skill to learn. And after that, the community where I learned digital marketing was hiring for some roles, and I applied to be a content development manager because I used to write content on Facebook. I didn't know what content implied, but I saw the word content and it looked familiar. So I applied to be a content development manager. And during the interview, the founder told me that based on my qualities and the way she has observed me over the months, that she thinks I would be better off as a community manager. So that's why I said I became a community manager by accident. And it's been almost 3 years since that happened, and I have learned, I have unlearned, and I have relearned. And one of the things I struggled with when I started out was having resources and access to quality community management education. And that is why I'm excited to have this session with everyone who would like to start their community management journey. Trying to move to my next page. Let me just click here. Okay, so these are what we'll cover this evening. We'll cover the why, what, and how of community management, social media versus community management. I've been asked this question a lot. Basics of community management and how to get your first job as a community manager, or how to get your first community management job. Godsfavour, please, can you confirm if it's okay that my video is off? Because I feel like you guys would prefer for my video to be on, and I can do
No,
that.
it's fine.
Okay, it's okay. No
Yes, it's
problem.
fine.
No problem. So yeah, understanding community management. So I don't know how the audience is. The last time I checked the YouTube live, I didn't really see like people there. So I don't know if it will be possible to get live interactions. But if it's not going to be possible, I'm just going to teach as if people are going to come and watch it later. So understanding community management. So before you understand community management, you need to understand what community is. So according to social studies, which we all did in primary school, a community is a group of people or persons that have common interests. Yeah, they share common interests and common goals. So why community management? So why do we do community management? To bring people together. Like I said, community is like a group of people. So to bring people together, connect, and support members' goals. So let's give an example. So let me use Carrywise. So Carrywise is an edtech they teach financial discipline, financial management, savings, investments, all those kind of things. And Carrywise has a campus ambassador program. Now, what have they done? Why? They have brought students together, students that want to take control of their finances, and they are supporting these students with resources, with relevant events and other things. So what is community management? Community management is creating, growing, and nurturing spaces where people with shared interests interact, learn, and support one another. If you notice, I didn't say online space, because a community can exist offline. Definitely, we had communities existing before the era of social media. There are some community managers that work on site and not remotely or online. So I love to tell people that a community manager is the face of the brand, is the brand ambassador, is the brand advocate, is the brand model. So if people are trying to reach a company and the founder is not accessible, the next line of action is to look out if they have a community manager. A community manager is like the placard, the billboard of that organization. So that is why when companies are hiring a community manager, they are very dicey about the person that they are selecting to represent their brand in terms of personality and also skill sets. So the how of community management is a lot, but basically the first step is by understanding what members need. If you don't understand what members need, you're going to be creating content aimlessly, and all your actions and efforts are going to be in vain. So social media versus community management. This has had a lot of arguments. On LinkedIn, you will see a company is hiring a community manager, and when you go through the job description, you would see, respond to DMs on LinkedIn, respond to comments on IG, must know how to post on social media and all of that. So it's a question that makes people confused. Like, is social media community management? Is community management social media management? But to me, there are two distinct fields, and in general, there are two distinct fields entirely. So social media management, as I would say, is someone being behind the scenes. I mentioned earlier that a community manager is like the brand ambassador. So you might know, like now we know that Godsfavour is the assistant community manager at nexogirls, but I don't know who the social media manager is. She might be the one, but I don't know if she's the one. I don't know if she's the one. So a community manager opens up, lets people know that, oh, I am the community manager of this brand. You would know who a community manager of a brand is, because it's their role to be that open for people, for them to be seen. But as a social media manager, I feel like you are more behind the scenes. You're the person that is pushing out content to the general audience of that brand. If I know a social media manager of a particular brand, is either that person has said it, or maybe I know it's like, okay, I used to know someone that used to manage Chicken Republic, and that was because she mentioned it on her feed that, oh, she's handling Chicken Republic, and everybody knew that, oh, is this girl or this lady that's handling Chicken Republic. So social media management is more concerned with you curating, distributing, planning, and publishing content on social media platforms, maybe Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, other platforms as well. Then community management is you handling a community, nurturing these people, ensuring that, okay, they get the support that they need. You create the content that they need to see. So I hope this explains the difference between a social media manager and a community manager. But in this part of the world, and also in other parts of the world, the role is intertwined. So it's not going to be easy to see a community manager that is only doing community management. Out of my 3 experiences as a community manager, I only have one experience where I wasn't doing social media management. I was doing social media management in the others, but what I was hired for was a community manager, and my priority was community management. But I was also expected to create social media content and post and analyze for those brands. So if you're thinking that, oh, you want to work as a community manager, you won't be able to take on any social media management task, I would advise that you collect the job as long as the pay can cover for both skills, and you also need it to gather the experience. Most of the community management roles you see would also add social media management to your tasks. So that is it. So this is a table that outlines the differences between social media management and community management. So the focus for a social media manager is sharing content to a wide audience on social media, while for a community manager, it is building relationships with a specific group of persons in a closed space, maybe Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, Reddit. Sometimes a social media manager can do this because some people hire community with the title community managers, but they want them to do community management, but on social media. So the goal of social media management is to increase visibility, engagement, brand awareness, close sales, all of that, lead generation. Then for community management is to create trust, connection, and member loyalty. For interaction, social media is one-to-many. So it's one person posting to many people, but in a community, it's not just the community manager that can post. It's not a war zone. It's not a military regime. Everybody else has freedom of speech, but within the confinement or within the square of the housekeeping rules or the guidelines of that space/community, so that it's a healthy and safe space for everyone. But for social media, you can't just I can't, like now for nexogirls, I can't post on nexogirls social media. I don't have access to it. Only the social media manager has access to the platform. So in terms of content, the social media manager posts content, runs ads, and updates for general audience. And for the community manager, we also do content, but our content does not really look like it's contenting, but it's content. So we start discussions, we provide support. So let's say I'm a community manager for first-time moms, and someone comes to say, oh, I think I'm going to give birth next week, but my husband has traveled. I'm so scared. But there's no way he can come back. You'd see that other women that are in the community that have given birth before are going to rally around and respond to that person, give her assurance, let her know things that she can do, maybe go and stay with her mom or her mother-in-law, or go stay in the hospital in advance, and all of that. Then activities for members, we can drop polls and other things, resources, like I said earlier. Then for the audience, we have followers or general audience on social media. Then in the community, it's members with shared interest or goal. I can follow a brand because maybe my friend is participating in a giveaway and she say, oh, please just follow this brand. I follow that brand, not necessarily that I like what they do or I'm interested in what they are doing. I can just randomly follow them. But for a community, it takes intentionality to join the community. Like, oh, these people say they do this and this. I think they can help me in a way. Let me fill out their form and join their community. So a community has people with shared interests or goals. And with this, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that there's a difference between social media management and community management. So what are you going to be doing as a community manager, especially if you're starting out? So community management is a lot of things. I think, was it last year or so, someone that I know in the community management space asked him when he tried to explain community management to someone. So the person was like, so basically you're a village head. So community management, you do so many things, sometimes things that are not even on your job description, but I've tried to keep this list as minimal and basic as possible for people that are going to start out. So first things first, moderation. So moderation is you ensuring that everything is in place. So if you manage a Telegram community like Slack, like just as Slack, Telegram has channels platform where they can have like jobs, resources, announcements, all those subgroups. And somebody comes to drop something that is not meant to be in the jobs channel on the jobs channel, or someone comes to drop a job post in the questions channel, it is your duty as the community manager to tell that person in person. That's tautology. It's your duty to tell that person privately or in the group chat that, oh, this content isn't meant to be here. Or probably you can delete it and reach out to the person that, oh, I saw that you put this content up here. It's great, but that is not the appropriate channel and I had to take it down. So if you'd love to put it up again, please, this is the right channel for you to send that content to. So that's basically moderation, seeing that everything is in place, everything is in order, nobody is making the community unsafe for anyone. No one is spamming the group with links and all of that. Then content. A community cannot thrive without content. So there was something I learned this year is connection before content. So before you create content for people, you have to connect with them, and not necessarily like telling them your life story or how you almost dropped out of school. Just make it seem as if you're interested in them. So when I talk about content now, you have to have a strategy in place first. What is your company trying to achieve? You need to tie your company's goals to the community goals. So if the company is trying to, let's say, onboard 50 users this month to use so and so feature, you're not going to be talking about something else on the community. You don't have to be 100% promotional because it's a community. It's not like a marketing WhatsApp group or whatever, but you have to try and slip it in once in a while. Like, oh, we have this going down in our app that if you download, use this coupon code, you're going to get XYZ feature, you're going to get a discount. So your content can be polls, because community is not just you working on your own. You have to get your members' opinions. So polls on things that they would want to see, polls on the kind of topics that they want you to have an event on, polls on what time to be available for a call or a session, polls on anything. Then there are conversation starters. You could just bring up something that is ongoing in that space and be like, oh, let's say you manage a community of workers or NYC core members, and you be like, oh, now the federal government has said that that if you don't have there's something about you getting married, you don't need to change your name to your husband's name because you want to go for NYC. So you could have conversations that are relevant to that community. Or let's say for me now, I manage a tech community. I could bring up things like hey guys, let's do We Listen, We Don't Judge Tech Edition. So, but when you're creating content, you have to consider that these are people with feelings and they also have a social battery. So there can be a point where you have an overflow of content ideas, and what I would recommend is having a content bank and also a content calendar. So let's move to event planning. So as a community manager, you'd be doing event planning, whether it's virtual, whether it's on-site. So events are ways that your community members can learn and they can also connect. So the times that I have applied for jobs, they would want to know they have always wanted to know my experience in planning events for virtual communities. So when it comes to event planning, your role basically is to select a topic, come up with relevant topics that align with your company value and mission, and also what your members want. You'd source for a speaker. You would use your maybe you can ask a friend like, oh, I want someone to talk to my community about investments. Who do you think is the best person that can talk to them? And they can bring people in like, oh, Finance Rennie or Tosin or Lasse in there. They can recommend other people that are into the finance and investments space. And it's also your duty to block the calendar. You know the time that event is going to hold, the date as well, the platform. Okay, if you're going to use Twitter, you have to schedule the Twitter space, get the link, you collaborate with the designer. If you're not the one going to do design, collaborate with the designer, get the design ready, share with community. If you're not the one posting on social media, collaborate with the social media manager to help you post and promote that event. So it is your job and in your description as a community manager to plan events. If you're having an on-site event, you draw up a budget. You'll be like, okay, we are going to get 6 packs of Coke or mineral or Fanta, Sprite. This is going to be how much it's going to cost. You're going to rent a hall and all of that. So you have to have event management, planning, and hosting skills. So the next thing we have on the basis of community management is support, which is a big thing that community managers do. So you need to be able to provide support to people. So if you manage, let's say you're the community manager of, where should I even use self? Of Alt School. Let me use Alt School. Alt School is an edtech product. And you have been trying to log into your dashboard. You want to like log in and you have not been able to log in. Maybe there's a glitch or there's an error 404. Then you go to the community and be like, oh, I haven't been able to log in, this, that. It's the community manager that would come and respond to you. Other members can respond, but it's the community manager's duty to also provide support. So your members would always have challenges, and it is your shoes to provide support to them or escalate it to teams that can provide the support. So if it's something technical, escalate to the technical team, reach out to the dev, reach out to the product design team or whoever that is on the team that can resolve that. Another thing is conflict resolution. You would think that everybody is mature, so they know how to behave online, but I assure you that fights also happen in online spaces, and there's a lot of exchange of words, or maybe they're dragging your company or something like that. So you need to have conflict resolution skills or crisis management skills. You can go for an interview and they'll be like, oh, how have you handled a crisis situation before in your community as a community manager or moderator? So know how to resolve conflicts. If 2 parties are at loggerheads, try to listen to both parties and provide a solution to that. Then data analysis. Whatever field that you are in, you'll be working with data, trust me, because you have to maybe monthly or quarterly provide a rundown of your metrics and KPIs. Like, okay, this is how many people that joined our community this month. This is how many people that left. We have this number of people in Port Harcourt. So I think that, oh, our next hangout should be in Port Harcourt. Or we have this number of people in Nairobi. I think we should have this people in Nairobi. So data is what you use to make your decisions. You don't just make decisions based on, oh, I think, I feel, like assumptions and other things. So you use data to drive your actions and decisions. That is why in most job vacancies, you would see must be data minded or must be data driven. So that is what they mean. Then active listening. You need to have your ears open in the community. So if you don't actively listen, it would give your community members the vibe that, oh, there's no need to even voice this out. She's not going to do anything about it. So if your members have complained about something that, okay, last month, our community call, we used Zoom. I'm not familiar with Zoom, and a good number of people have complained that they're not familiar with Zoom or they're not familiar with Butter, you can be like, okay, we are on Telegram, right? Let us try using Telegram for our next monthly call, and you get their feedback. So don't ignore feedback. If you have an event and you send out survey forms, read what people are saying. Another way to practice active listening is the forms that people fill out to join your community. Go and look at the why they joined the community and see what you have done so far. Have you done anything that relates to the why they are part of the community you're managing? So that is basically the basics of community management. If you have any question, if there's any question, please, Godsfavour, let me know. Then how to get your first job. To be honest, it's not a linear path. There's no straight road. Same way you would come out of the university and not everybody gets a job the same way. So like my story was, I became a community manager by accident. I didn't go to take a community management course, and I started job hunting and all of that. But not to scare you, there's a solution. So there's a template you can follow if you'd love to land a community management job. First things first, please hone your skills. Be a person of substance and value, because you can't pour out from an empty cup. So hone your skills, leverage social media. So when I say hone your skills, there are a lot of places that you can learn community management from, whether for free or for paid. So how I learned was that I learned on the job. I learned from reading. I am big time on reading. So there are a lot of community professionals that I followed, like Martha Essien, David Spinks. I read their articles. There were some free courses I took. I took Meta Community Management Certification course in partnership with Techforgood. And this year, I even joined a 3-month cohort program, and I also volunteered in another marketing community after 2 years of paid work, because I needed to get grounded. So when you're honing your skills, you can also leverage social media. So what would you use social media to do? See, be vocal about what you do. Anything you are doing, be vocal about it. I'm not saying make noise or brand yourself to be who you are not, but if you started learning community management, go to your LinkedIn, write it, start learning community management. Today, I learned this, and I did this, and this is what I discovered. Just keep your journey there, because employers go through your LinkedIn, believe it or not. They go through your social media, and your social media might be the reason that someone is convinced to take a chance on you. So leverage social media, share your story, share your journey, then volunteer or intern. I think a problem with some of us young people is that we don't want to sacrifice. There are some things that come with sacrificing your time and also your skills. My first community management job was a paid volunteer role, and the amount was small, honestly, but I enjoyed working there for like over a year. So if you can, please, I'm not going to force anyone to volunteer or intern, but recommendably, please volunteer or intern. And don't just volunteer or intern with somebody or with any community or any company. As a volunteer, they're not just using you, you're also using them. So look for a place that, you'd be happy to work there, and you see yourself doing something impactful there as well, and you can be able to document your journey. So volunteer, or you do an internship. There are sometimes that I see some job vacancies that are looking for volunteer community managers or community management interns. Then connect with other community managers. So this is something that I didn't overlook when I started out. I connected with other community managers. Like, if I was in community management for less than a year, but it felt like I was in community management for years because of the people that I had around me. So go on LinkedIn, connect with community managers, go on Twitter. You mostly find them on Twitter and LinkedIn. Connect with community managers, send them a DM. Just make your mark in their memory. Just say, hi, I love what you do. I'm going to be reading your works. Would it be okay for me to reach out to you if I have any questions or any issue? So connect with them. If they have a newsletter, please subscribe, read their newsletter, go to YouTube. There are solid community managers on YouTube that you can learn from. Then this list will not be complete if I don't talk about joining communities. So I'm a big fan of joining communities. I would always advocate for joining communities in whatever you do. If you're moving to a new country, if you're moving to a new city, join communities. Communities are not underrated or they are not overrated. So my first community management job came from me being a participant of a community and because I was active there. So if you join a community, don't be silent. Let people know you. Let people know what you do. So if the opportunity comes, even though it's not for that particular community, they'll be like, oh, hi, Godsfavour. I see that you're interested in community management. A friend has a startup and she's looking for a community manager that can work with her for the next 6 months. Would you be interested? So please join communities and participate and engage in the communities as well. So this is my question session or section. I don't know if anyone has a question. Godsfavour, please, is there any question?
Yes, we have questions, but first I want to say thank you so much for this amazing session. I loved that you used practical examples. I loved that these are relatable examples that we can relate to. So let's go over our questions. So the first question we have is, I also have my question, so but I'm going to, allow these people to see first. So the first question we have is project management related to community management? Project management related to community management? You're muted.
Okay, thank you. So is project management related to community management? So as a community manager, you're going to be managing projects sometimes. So let's say you're having cohort programs or you have an event or things that are ongoing in the community. So you might be the one overseeing the execution of that project or program. So when community managers want to upskill, like me, I picked up project management foundational course on Coursera. I've not finished it, sorry, but it is useful as a community manager to understand how to work with people, because as project managers, you understand how to work with people, collaboration, agile methodologies, all of those things. So it's like a plus that you have project management skills. I have seen some community managers I look up to have had a certification in project management just to upskill and also provide more value as a community manager. I think it's necessary for all community managers to have professional project management skills, especially if they are climbing the career ladder.
Okay, thank you so much. Akinde Tomisin, you had that it's a plus for you to have project management. The next question is, what are the courses that is involved in community management? So I think the person is asking, where they can start from, the courses they can take to become a community manager.
Okay, so courses they can take. Courses they can.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please go on.
Okay, so there is how would I say this? Facebook. I think the Facebook mentor certification, to get the certificate, you have to pay for it. But I think you can start taking the course without actually paying for it. Coursera should have a community management course. Like for me, my learning system is different. I learned community management in bits and pieces. Like I read newsletters, articles, and I was practicing. The only time I had a professional training was like a cohort training program that was for people that were actively community managers, not people that were basically getting into the space. You must have to have a community that you are currently managing. But if it would help, after this call, let's say within the next 24 hours, I would forward a list of resources to the nexogirls team, and they can share with the person that asked that question.
Thank you so much. So since you're on our group chats, you get the recommendations on the group chats. So we have another question. What are the skill sets you need as a community manager? So I'm guessing the person means soft skills.
Okay, so as a community manager, you need to have communication skills, because you'll be working with a team. You need to know how to communicate. You need to have time management skills, because you are engaging the community or you are posting content in the community. Doesn't mean that you're not going to do other things that you're meant to do. Let's say planning a virtual event or writing a report or basically any other task. So engaging a community is not meant to take you the whole day. You can dedicate like, okay, this 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm going to do community engagement. 11 to 1, I'm going to do some operational tasks and all of that. So time management, organizational skills, documentation. You need to know how to document as a community manager. You need to have empathy, emotional intelligence. Like before you respond, just think about the person's emotions. Just use your just think about it first, because people are funny. You get angry. I think my first community management experience, the very first week, someone insulted me and I went off Slack to go and cry. So you need to like have iron shield, but still know how to talk to people, because you're not just talking for yourself, you are talking for the brand. So I've talked about collaboration, talked about time management, organization, empathy, documentation, and yeah, last but not least, analytical thinking. So you need to know how to work with numbers and also to interpret those numbers.
So thank you so much. I think that's like all the questions we have on the chat box. So for my question, my first question is, how do you measure the success of a community? Like, what are your KPIs? How do you know that, oh, I'm doing a good job or I'm doing a bad job?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, your community goals are meant to be tied to your business goals. So there's an analogy I learned this year, and I love to use it. I've used it like 2 times in 2 interview calls, and yeah. So I see community management as a Venn diagram. So I think we did Venn diagram in mathematics or further maths. And Venn diagram is basically 2 circles having a meeting point. So now this meeting point, the first circle is members' goals, and the second circle is the business goals. And the meeting point is where the magic happens in community management. So you need to know what success looks like for the company. So if the company, let's say they don't have like something that they actively want the members to involve in, they say, okay, they just want engagement. And these people are having discussions. It's a success metric to you, because, oh, you don't have to come every day and start a conversation. Take, for example, there's a community on Telegram called the Social Media Haven, owned by the Social Media Oga. There is a community manager there, but she is not always starting conversations. People just start conversations on their own, take initiatives and all of that. So your metrics are basically on what success looks like for the company. So if you're managing a free community and your company's goals is to convert them to paid users, then you have to think like, oh, how do I convince people to see the value of our product to actually pay for it? Maybe when they sign up and they say, okay, how did you get to hear about the product? And they click community, you know that, oh, this month 7 people bought our paid course or program because of what is going on in the community. So that is how you're able to know if you're on the right track and doing a good job.
Okay, thank you so much. For my last question, because of time. So over time, from your experience, what strategies have you found for keeping the community engaged long term? So, for example, you're managing a community and, how do you keep them engaged? How do you make sure that conversations are going on in the community?
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that it is very okay for a community to be silent. Like someone important in Nigeria would say, let the people breathe. So the thing is that we put pressure on ourselves as community managers that, oh, it's meant to be bubbly, it's meant to be shaking, it's meant to be jazzed up. That is also good, but know that these are human beings with real life responsibilities and duties you get. So, but if you want to keep them engaged, you have to know the kind of people that you are talking to, know what pricks them, know their pain points. So now I manage a WhatsApp community for an edtech, and recently we kicked off an IT program where people can gain experience, because I noticed that some of our community members are looking for a platform to gain experience, and I shared the opportunity with them, like, oh, we have this IT program coming up. Are you interested? And some of them showed the interest, like, oh, they want to hear more about it and all of that. In terms of content, so if your community is like a group of young people, let's say it's a youth development community, you could work on a community strategy, know the kind of things that they usually ask, the kind of resources that they need. And you could come in one day and like, okay, hi guys, today we're going to discuss how to send emails, because it's a surprise that some people don't know how to send emails. I saw a screenshot of a job application today where someone was like recruiting for a job, and some people sent application, there was no subject, there was no attached documents. It was just very funny. So your content has to be aligned with who your members are and the kind of problems that they have. So if I am managing a community of farmers, let's say on Facebook, on a Facebook group, I would probably share content like how do you take care of your poultry in a flooded area during rainy season? Bring up something that makes people want to talk. People like to talk about themselves. So I try to turn the question around. I would say, how do you do this? How do you do that? I try to make it seem like, oh, I'm trying to learn from them. So when you give people the opportunity to hold the mic, they will definitely want to participate in the conversation. So that is one of the ways that I get members engaged, and also bringing content from outside. So I'll be like, okay, I saw this. What do we think about it? Let me hear your thoughts. So it seems like, oh, I didn't want to hear about my opinion, so I want to share. Just know that people love to talk, and they love when you give them the opportunity or the mic to talk.
Thank you so much. This was very insightful. And looking at the comment section, we have so many people saying thank you. And we are very grateful for your practical section. And if you have any other questions, please, we have a few more seconds to go before she leaves. Yeah, I think you can stop sharing. Can you hear me?
Okay, no problem. So thank you for having me. May the force of community be with you. And if you'd love to connect with me on social media, my LinkedIn is at the bottom of the screen. Idongesit Akpan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ID. So you can follow her on, sorry, I forgot to say where you can follow you on LinkedIn. Is it the same name on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram?
Okay, so I'll just keep it to LinkedIn. My Twitter, I don't really put out much professional stuff out there. My Instagram as well. So LinkedIn is where I recommend.
Okay. So please follow her on LinkedIn. You can also ask her questions, and I'm very sure she's going to put you through. So thank you so much, ID. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are very grateful. Um, Thank you so much for attending to this session. You can also follow us on social media at nexogirls on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Or you can easily scan this barcode and to take us straight to where. Don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. So before we leave, I would like to say thank you to everyone. I'm very sure that I really hope you grabbed like a lot. And I really hope we were able to answer all your questions. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to join us same time, 6:30 tomorrow, West African time. And so before we leave, we're going to take our picture. And for our picture, we're going to have like a love sign.
Hi,
And
Godsfavour.
yes, can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry for cutting you short. So I just joined the YouTube live on my mobile, and I noticed that there
Yeah.
is one last question from someone, a person that asked
Okay.
for community management courses. So she asked, what is documentation in community management? So it's not like it's a community management word per se. It's basically you recording the things that you do. So recording your processes and all of that, because you will need it. If not for the company, when you are applying to other jobs, they would ask you like, oh, how did you handle an alumni program? Or what is your process of planning an event? So documentation could just you writing the objectives of an event, the proposed speakers, the dates, the time, the platform, the number of listeners you want to have on that day. And maybe after the event, you could come and document that, oh, we had like 100 people register, but on that day we had 40 people that registered, and all of that. So that's basically documentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Miriam, I hope you got the answer to your question. So ID, before you leave, thank you so much once again. Before you leave, we have a Nexo girl signature pose where we just do something like love shape with our hands. So I want you to please turn on your camera so we can just this. And thank you so much. Bye, everyone.